quitting the game of Survivor, not being medically evacuated and therefore forced to leave, but voluntarily quitting. It had not happened in the first 6 seasons of the show, but that run was broken in season 7, Survivor Pearl Islands. Before we start, I want to thank you all for supporting this channel. Subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing are crucial to this channel's growth and makes this all possible. If you want to do more to help keep the ship afloat, then consider supporting this channel on Patreon. You get all videos weeks before they ever see the light of day here on YouTube, and you get to vote for which survivors I tell the stories of. And you even get an exclusive Patreon-only video each month. Thank you for your support. So why did someone finally quit, and how is it this guy, who looks incredibly buff and therefore perfect for the physical portion of this show? While Osten Taylor may go down as the first official quit in Survivor, there were rumors floating around about some other players who have been voted off in prior seasons but essentially just let their tribe do it because they were done. But nothing was ever official, and of course, the season prior to this one, the Amazon, had Shauna and Jenna both wanting to quit, but ultimately held out until they were either voted out or they won the game.
I feel like I followed into some crappy ass depression, and I can't, the only way out of it is to get out.
It's amazing what a little bit of testosterone can do for somebody. Boys come into the camp and Shauna is 180 degrees better.
So it is very interesting when in only the 2nd episode of Survivor Pearl Islands, Osten mentions for the first time wanting to leave the game voluntarily on day 4.
After we get to go in the shelter, I might decide to leave, to be honest with that.
Which, as he mentions earlier in this episode, may stem from that he sold all of his clothes and is basically just living in his underwear.
And I know to me it seems like it's only a matter of time before, something like a pneumonia like that could settle in, because I don't have any clothes.
Now, if we circle back to episode 1, we can check and see that indeed Osten started off with a full set of clothes, but by the time both tribes are done bartering in the village, he is down to just his underwear and his running shoes.
Okay, well, we gotta get down. Let's get all our hoopers. We're all squared out. You need help, Shannon? You good?
I got it.
Let's rock it. Where are we going? We got tons of money.
All right, hey, Austin, got tons of money.
So now we have a player having to endure the elements with little food and little water and nothing really to shield himself from the outside world, as right before Osten said he may want to leave the game, Sandra came by and took the tribe's one and only tarp as part of the reward that her tribe won.
Yeah, I want that baby up there, the tarp.
So Tawana talks to Osten and tells him that this is all mental, they're all suffering, but if he can mentally push through all of this, then he'll be fine. But he explains how he's probably gonna get sick and possibly get pneumonia because he has gotten that previously.
There's so many things and aspects to the game. When it comes down to it, it's mental.
I'm in here in shorts, and it's going to be raining and cold. I'm going to get sick.
He has what it takes, in my opinion. That's what pisses me off. It's because I care about him. How can you cut yourself short?
It sounds like he's fairly aware of how his body works and reacts to things, but then again, it's a bit hard to tell if Tawana might be right and he might be talking about how bad things are going to get for him and therefore basically making it happen. Osten's tribe Morgan loses the immunity challenge and now they need to decide who goes home. Osten takes this opportunity to start telling people to vote him out at tribal council.
You're going to vote for me for tribal council. You're going to vote for me for tribal council. For me. Yeah.
Andrew Savage tries to tell Osten that he is very important to the tribe and their potential success down the line. Osten then explains to us how he's wondering if he should keep pushing until he has pneumonia and has fluid and blood in his lungs, or if maybe he should stop earlier than that.
Do I sleep out in the cold just until I get pneumonia? Just to win $1 million, and if I don't win it, then I got fluid in my lungs, potentially blood in my lungs.
Lil then makes a very keen observation about Osten from an outsider's perspective.
I saw him on the beach. He's running up and down, throwing coconuts, lifting logs, playing. There's nothing wrong with his body.
And she is right. It makes us go back to what Tawana said about how this might be more mental than anything else. If Osten thinks he's going to get sick and keeps thinking that all day and all night, then he may be pushing his body into that direction more so than he would ever want to. I am not a doctor though, so take that with a grain of salt. However, the tribe does not vote out Osten and instead opts to vote out Ryan, who is physically not very strong. Ryan does mention to Jeff Probst that someone on the tribe does want to be voted out, but he won't tell him who.
A person came up to me today and told me that they were ready to go. So that's probably what I'm going to base mine on.
You gonna tell me who that is?
Of course not.
Moving into the third episode, we hear from Osten how he prayed to God for strength and that he is really craving some double cheeseburgers.
Said a prayer to the good man upstairs, and I'm not gonna quit.
Andrew then talks about how every tribe member has an obligation to the tribe, and something has changed with Osten because he was all fired up on the first day or two, but clearly now he is not the same, and Andrew is now on the bandwagon of this is all mental.
Really, for Osten, the key is mental stability, and it's something he's going to struggle with his entire time out here.
The Morgan tribe loses reward, and they are now on a 4-challenge losing streak. They haven't even won one previous to that. Their immunity challenge is all about strength and endurance, as they need to hold up one of their tribe mates above the ocean. Osten actually does really well at this and keeps pace with Rupert for 2 hours, until Jeff requires them to both not utilize the pulley system at all and basically keep the rope off of the wood.
Osten, you gotta keep your body off it. Boom. Osten can hang. Rupert wins immunity for Drake.
Ultimately, he does lose immunity, but he does extremely well given the circumstances. And with their third vote in a row coming up, Osten isn't even mentioned as a target, and he doesn't even receive a single vote. So maybe things have gotten better. Over the next 3 episodes, Morgan wins all 3 immunities with a little help from Drake throwing one, and therefore Osten stays in the game. Moving on to episode 7, the Outcast Tribe returns. For anyone who is unfamiliar with who the Outcast Tribe is and what this twist is all about, I have a video all about it, and I've talked about it in pretty much every single story video. I recommend watching one of those videos, but namely the Outcast twist if you really have no idea what this is.
The 6 people you have voted out return now as a 3rd tribe. Do you guys have a tribe name?
We're the Outcasts.
The Outcasts.
Anyways, they're this tribe of people who have been voted out of the game. They get a chance to come back, and if they win the challenge, then they get to vote 2 of their own players back in the game, and Drake and Morgan each have to vote out 1. At this point, Drake and Morgan thought they were going to merge. We hear it multiple times prior to this challenge, but this twist has thrown a wrench into things, and now they have no idea when the merge is even going to happen.
Ryan is through. The Outcasts defeat Morgan and Drake. This challenge is over.
Now that Morgan has to return to Tribal, Osten repeats what he said all the way back on day 4.
Quote me right out, because I don't deserve to win. Okay? You guys stuck it out. Your body could last longer than mine. Mine couldn't.
He is still ready to be voted out. His mind has not changed despite all of the victories Morgan has had, and the fact that we're over 2 weeks later in this game, and a possible merge is right around the bend. He says he's out of gas, and if he can't give it his all, then he has to quit. Basically, he says if he's not first, he's last, and if you don't like it, then you can kiss his butt.
Number 2, I don't really give a damn what someone else thinks about me. If you don't like what I do or what I say or what I've done, you can get in line and kiss my ass. Vote me off, and it's been a pleasure.
It does seem like his tribe is finally giving into his wishes, and everyone realizes that he truly is done this time. Andrew spills all to Jeff at Tribal Council, who doesn't seem all too pleased about the news that someone wants to quit.
You had enough, Osten?
Going into this, I was like, I'll only go as far as my body will allow me to go. And right now, my body's done.
Jeff then jumps on to the mental bandwagon and asks Osten if his will to want to play is possibly affecting his body, because Burton is willing to suffer a second time just for another chance to play in the game. Osten says no, because he has no gas and like a car, he can't run any longer. Tawana says she can't understand Osten's state of mind because she's willing to play no matter what.
This experience may not be enough of a sacrifice for him versus his health. It is for me. I'm willing to go until probably I'm dead here.
Dara and Ryan both basically repeat what Savage and Tawana said and say they would claw their way to stay in this game and they would never have any desire to leave. Jeff then asks Osten straight up if he is quitting, and he says,
You take it for whatever you want. I mean, if you want to say quitting, you want to say stopping, yeah, I'm quitting. My health to me is more important to me than $1 million, I guess, right now.
Then, for the first time in Survivor history, a verbal vote happens, which officially counts as no vote, but everyone does say they want to send Osten home, so it's basically confirmation that Osten, you're quitting, and everyone's okay with it.
You're going to indulge Osten, send him home.
Yes.
Dara. Rhino. Yep. T.
Yes.
Jeff then snuffs his torch and unceremoniously lays it on the ground.
With all due respect to Osten, people work too damn hard to get in this game and fight to stay alive.
And that's not all. In the final episode, Sandra, Lil, and Fairplay go to set a ship ablaze with everyone's torch on it, minus their own, and of course,
one person did not finish their game. Their torch remains at Tribal Council. It will not be a part of this celebration.
So that is the first official quit of Survivor, and this one is hard to judge. In later seasons, it will be seemingly more clear why someone is quitting, but here it seems like Osten kind of screwed himself by selling all of his clothes without thinking about how he would survive for 39 days on an island. If you watch the premiere episode, you see a man who is all fired up and bursting with energy, for better or for worse, and he just does it in everything. So it is telling that almost immediately in episode 2 when it starts, he just looks beyond drained and the adrenaline of everything is clearly worn off. What I find personally strange is how Jeff made everyone verbally vote. I know tribals can last for an hour or longer, so maybe it was clear for the entire time that there wasn't another option on the table, like Osten was going for sure, but I don't think the public vote should even be considered here. If he wants to quit, just let him quit, otherwise have them go up to the urn and vote. While Osten Taylor is the first official quit of Survivor, he will not be the last. Next time on Once Upon an Island, we will be weaving the tale of Sandra Diaz-Twine, the winner of Survivor Pearl Islands. Thanks for watching, and if you like the content you see here, then please support me and this channel on Patreon. Your financial support makes this channel possible, so thank you, and thank you for watching.